more and more.
This since it started around 3.
I have. We're using the power of 2 stations to bring you this breaking news this afternoon on both Channel 11 and Fox 2. And we've been on the air for the past 45 minutes showing you these live pictures from Bommarito Automotive Group Skyfox. And just within the last minute or so, we have seen the first fire crews that have brought in hoses to try to cool down some of those tanks. I was talking just a few minutes ago with Greg Favor, who's the executive director of the regional response team. Years and years of history with hazardous materials teams. And what they're likely trying to do is set up a hose perimeter where those tanks that you see that are so very close to this fire, to cool them off so that they don't explode, because we've seen one explosion after the next for the last 45 minutes as this huge fire and the chemicals in it have just been burning out of control.
And let's bring you up to speed on what we do know right now, and that's that fire officials tell us some 3,000 people in that area have been evacuated. Officials with MSD say that they are concerned that chemicals are getting into the sewer system, and those gases from those chemicals could potentially get into homes. Affton School students are being held at schools right now due to this fire. We are unsure how this started or if there are any injuries, but we are working to get the latest information that we can from those fire officials. We want to go to our Andy Banker, who is now on the scene live. Andy, tell us what you've been able to find out.
Well, Manor Chemical, Mike, and they manufacture, distribute, we think they manufacture chemicals used in the automotive industry, dry cleaners, things like that. Dangerous things, and certainly the big concern beyond the fire is inhaling. I look right here. We got firefighters across the street going door to, not firefighters, St. Louis County police officers going door to door. We're told as many as 3,000 people may need to be evacuated. On the other side of the street, we see the Heege Place apartments, pretty large apartment complex. It's been partially evacuated so far, and you can see why. I mean, I know you guys can tell from the view from Bommarito Automotive Skyfox, but down here on the ground, we're on Heege Road near Pembroke. Just look at how much sky. I mean, 180-degree view for me almost is covered by smoke. And the thickest stuff just to the left side broadcast tower. 3 golf course, and it will be again, and driving range, pretty famous in the St. Louis area, is right back there. I have the apartment manager from Heege Place Apartments. Can we talk to her real quick? Yes. What's your name?
Monica.
Monica what?
Brecalo.
Thanks for joining us.
Sure.
This is awful to look out your window and look from your property.
I'll say.
See that in the sky, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
What are your big concerns? What have you been told by the authorities? And you has been a partial evacuation here?
Yeah, only the first 3 of our buildings that are closest to the fire, the explosion, have been evacuated, but them door knocking over here concerns me. I think they'll probably evacuate our entire building. I can't say for sure yet, though. I don't know.
Do you live here, or do you manage it?
I live on the property as well, okay. Yeah.
And how many people live here? How many buildings do you have?
There are 84 units here.
And how many buildings?
6 buildings.
6 buildings, so we evacuated pretty much half of it.
Half of it so far, yeah.
And we are downwind. We are upwind from it, so the smoke is blowing away from us.
Thank goodness.
So maybe we're okay. The police roadblock is within a block of us. Right? They're not letting any traffic through on Heege, not out of a fire concern, but because they don't want people driving through that smoke. Have they told you anything specifically? Have you spoken to anyone from the county police department or any of the firefighters in the area?
Not the police. The firefighters were there evacuating. I was just helping them make sure that no tenants were left in any of their units. The only thing I know is there's potential for further explosions without any detail. That's all I know, is that there could be more. There's supposedly an oil tanker truck down there. I don't know for sure. I can't say. I don't know.
Have you driven by, you know, Manor Chemical? You know where the place is where the fires are happening?
I just know it's down, like under the viaduct and down in that back area that nobody ever goes to unless you work there.
Right. There's a lot of warehouses in that area, but you can see on their property several large tanks that are full of industrial chemicals, and obviously that would be a concern if they catch fire.
Absolutely. I can't say for certain that one of them wasn't what exploded. There were huge fireballs in the air.
Did you hear something, or could you feel it? Or
I heard a big kaboom, and I had one of my tenants come into the office and grab me and say, "Hey, did you hear that?" And so many transformers have blown over here lately that I didn't think much of it. And she said, "No, come over. There's billowing smoke everywhere." And I walked down there, and the smell is awful. It is awful down there. The closer you get to it, it's not good. Like, you can feel it in your throat.
Really?
Yeah.
A little burning?
Yeah,
is it a chemical smell?
It definitely is.
Well, then you definitely want to stay upwind of it, right?
Yeah. Stay away from it if at all possible.
Was there like a concussion in your office? Did you feel any?
No, nothing like that. No, no.
Not your eardrums, nothing. You
just heard it. A big kaboom. Just sounded just like one of those transformers. If you've lived in the area, you know what that sounds like.
And could you see the fire over the tops of these trees? Was it that big?
Oh yeah. It was huge. It was. It's a lot of smoke now, but it was. Oh my gosh, just one right after the other.
About how long ago was that?
Probably maybe 30 minutes ago. So about the past half hour to an hour, I'd say it's been going on.
But you haven't heard any more word whether you're going to be allowed to stay or leave. Or are you going to?
The first 3 units that were evacuated, or the first 3 buildings that were evacuated, they said probably 10 to 12 hours before they could go back. But again, since they're door knocking the people across the street, I don't know if they're going to evacuate the rest of my building here.
Well, they're a little closer, I guess, maybe more explosion concern over that way than you would have over here. But certainly, and the same for us. We're not going to stay here in harm's way if that becomes an issue. But we've had police and firefighters right here telling us this is where you need to stop. And as long as the wind is blowing, against our backs and blowing that way, which I guess it's blowing to the northeast, it looks like. As long as that's the case and the smoke is going away from us, we should be okay, but who knows?
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like this.
Me neither. Ever.
Right. Have you had any contact with any of your tenants still here? Do you know how many? I'm assuming a lot of people are just leaving.
If they can, if they're able to get out, they'll leave, and that's what we recommended or suggested to them. Some people don't have anywhere else to go, so I have a few of my tenants in my office downstairs right now. But based on what is going to happen in the next, hour or so, I have no idea what I'll tell people to do or what options they might offer. I don't know.
We do have word. I believe we have word, and Mandy and Mike, maybe you can help me out with this, that there is an evacuation center being set up. I believe I had that from our news desk. I don't know if we put those details out.
Have you
guys heard any of that
There is a
back there?
staging area that has been set up, and we're still waiting to get that. Andy, as we bring it back here, we're showing you something that's happening right now, and this is firefighters who are bringing some hoses in, and we want to go up live to photojournalist Stan Daywood, live in Bommarito Automotive Group Skyfox. Stan, tell me what you're seeing.
Yeah, Mandy, as you can see, the firefighters are have crossed these railroad tracks now. They've been staged for a little bit, but it does look as though they're going to try and attack this from this end, which is upwind, of course, and they're safe. It just seems as though there's still some fuel in this area right here at the top of the screen. That's where the building was, Mandy, that you and I were talking about just about 30 minutes ago. It is completely collapsed, but it does seem to still have some kind of fuel to it and continues to burn at this point.
Stan, I want to address something Andy asked about just a moment ago, and that's the evacuation area for anybody who is impacted by this explosion and fire. St. Louis County Police saying we are currently evacuating everyone within a half-mile radius of the fire. Evacuees can go to the Affton Elks Lodge at 6330 Heege Road. That's where the Red Cross will be providing assistance. So evacuees within a half-mile radius go to the Affton Elks Lodge at 6330 Heege Road. That's where the Red Cross will be helping people.
And to give you a sense of what's happening right now in a hazardous materials fire situation, we are just now seeing fire crews moving in. They are checking out that tank that we have seen smoldering and steam coming off of it. And there is concern that that could get overheated. We don't know about those big silver tanks, exactly what's inside of them, if they're empty or it's just residue, but clearly some concern for firefighters. So they will try to use these hoses and cool off that tank. Those square boxes and other containers all around this property are the types of storage containers that this bulk chemical is put into and then transported to different customers. In a chemical fire like this, you can see they are kind of going after the perimeter of it to keep it away from those tanks that are right there on the edge. We've seen some of the chemical, actually the fire almost looking like a drainage area going toward the bottom of the hill, but it looks like that has been contained right now. But chemical companies like Manor Chemical will keep a good list of every single chemical and where it's stored. So firefighters know this, and they know which areas they need to look out for in the next few minutes, because the majority of that right there in the middle in that building, there was a large building there and it's now rubble.
And that's one of the important things to keep in mind as we watch firefighters begin to work to put this fire under control is they had a plan of attack before they showed up. They're not just rolling up to the scene, turning on the hose and spraying. With the chemical companies knowing where particular chemicals are located on the premises, firefighters know what to do. I'm interested to know, when we do talk with Greg Favor, if, and I understand that we do have him standing by.
Yeah, we do. Greg, you're on the line with us. Greg is Executive Director of the St. Louis Regional Response Team. Greg, you've got a long history with fighting hazardous materials fires. As you're looking at these pictures along with us, tell us what you see happening.
Hey, good afternoon. Thanks for having me. Yes, so I've been watching the live feed from your helicopter, and I would say that this is progressing as we would probably expect it to progress. Hazmat itself is a pretty significant danger anyway. You put it under fire, and that challenge compounds pretty quickly. It's really good to see the firefighters that you see in the upper left-hand corner of the live shot now are operating a 2.5-inch hose line, which is a sizable diameter hose line. As you see them moving in and not only cooling the tank and checking the condition of the tank in front of them, being able to start working on the perimeter and hitting these hot spots as they walk in is certainly a welcome to sight. It's not something you can generally do early in a hazmat fire. The fact that they're getting in there and starting to get water on the fire shows that we're probably at a pretty good inflection point in this incident.
Greg, from a technical standpoint and from a material standpoint, can you talk about how a fire like this differs from what you would see in, say, a residential house fire? Are they using water right now? Are they using some sort of other material to help extinguish these flames?
Great question. So most residential building fires, the materials are more natural than what you would find at a chemical manufacturing company. Chemicals themselves can be a little dicey. You put them under conditions where they don't, under heat or open flame conditions, and they react often violently depending on what the chemical is. So the fact that this almost certainly was a mixed use yard, meaning there were multiple chemicals of different varieties working, in the yard together and catching fire together, there's a certain cadence to building fires that you come to expect. In hazmat fires, that cadence isn't there, and you're a bit at the mercy of what the chemical chooses to do. And knowing what is on site, either from your pre-walkthroughs or from talking with building with the owners of the building, knowing what the most dangerous parts of the yard are, and knowing how those chemicals will react. You have to remember, firefighters in every truck in Missouri, they keep an emergency response guide for hazmat. So they're immediately getting information as to what chemicals are stored in the yard, and they're looking to see what the potential outcomes of those are. And from there, building the strategy around evacuation, around firefighting, calling in, the department, both sewer and atmospheric monitoring companies to make sure that runoff is being contained. Hazmat, like I said, hazmat itself is complex and nuanced. Hazmat fires are a particular brand of challenge, and there is a significant amount of experience on scene, both from St. Louis County and from St. Louis City, who are lending the expertise there. So the fact that we're, an hour and a half, 2 hours into this incident, and we have a big line in place and getting water on the fire, that's certainly a positive sign for sure.
And as you're looking at these live pictures, and you can see there is some thick black smoke, would this be